years in the making.
On the grandest stage,
We have a new champion.
It has been called an underrated gem, but it also has been called the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Now, we know WrestleMania X7 was to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but to me, I do agree with that, but something about WrestleMania 19 does it for me. I'm your host, Mr. A&E, back with another Retro Reviews with my special guest today on this review, Primetime. Not Deion Sanders, but Primetime.
What's going on there, everybody?
He said, I want to be a part of this WrestleMania. I'm guessing he got something to say. But to me, like I said, if you guys see my WrestleMania 17 review, I said I look at WrestleMania 17 as the Thriller album, but I look at WrestleMania 19 as the Bad album. Where Thriller is the best-selling album, it's the most popular, but Bad had 6 number 1 singles on the album. Thriller ain't do that. Thriller had about maybe 5 to 6 top 10, top 20 hits, mostly top 10 hits, but Bad had 6 number 1. So on paper, by charts, Bad was the better album, but Thriller gets more praise. That's how I look at WrestleMania 17 and 19. Primetime, how do you feel about WrestleMania 19?
Yo, even though it's underrated, this is one of my favorite WrestleManias. I wouldn't say by far one of my favorite. It's ahead by quite, a little margin. I don't know, for some reason it just holds a special place to me.
I agree with that. But you know what? Let's get into this, because first off, Ashanti sings America the Beautiful. For those who don't know Ashanti, remember that Christmas song? It's Christmas time again. Let's hear those sleigh bells jingle. Yeah, she can't sing. Neither can I. So Ashanti opens it. We're in Seattle, Washington, which is kind of like that long dome-looking building is scary to me.
Why?
Huh?
Why is it scary to you?
I don't like high buildings after 9/11.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's nothing to laugh at, but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's like a skinny shaft, which is basically elevators to go all the way up to the top to this arena area and the music part they have up there. So it kind of looks like it's half inside, half outside. So it's a very unique scene for WrestleMania 19. But why don't we just get started in the card, which we have the opening match. We have Matt Hardy, version 1, by the way, with Shannon Moore versus Rey Mysterio. This is Rey Mysterio's debut at WrestleMania. He just came in 2002. And this is Matt Hardy's singles run at WrestleMania as Matt Hardy version 1, which is probably one of the better Matt Hardys since before he became broken. So this is for the Cruiserweight Championship. As Matt Hardy comes out, it talks about the Matt Hardy facts, and he strongly dislikes mustard. So
wait, is this okay? Have you seen the one where I don't know if it was I think it was a Smackdown, and it was like Matt Hardy is like a few inches taller than his opponent tonight, like just dogging out Mysterio.
Yeah, I see something like that. Well, it wasn't at this WrestleMania card, but I know what you're talking about. But so they have a nice fast-paced, easygoing match. Of course, Shannon Moore tries to get involved as usual, per the usual for Shannon Moore. Back when Shannon Moore was, Matt Hardy's lackey. And then what happened? Rey Mysterio tries to go for the 619, but miss, and Hardy gets the roll up and uses the ring ropes for leverage and pins Rey Mysterio. And there you have. Say what?
Good heel.
Yes, good heel. Matt Hardy gets his first WrestleMania win at WrestleMania. So,
this match was actually it wasn't good. It was okay to me, just because I don't know how do you feel about the way that Rey Mysterio and Matt Hardy worked together.
I enjoyed it because, first of all, now Matt in the Cruiserweight division I kind of did not like. But
me too.
Yeah,
I'd rather have them be in the lower, in the mid card instead of being in the cruiserweight.
Exactly. Yeah, Rey Mysterio is more of a cruiserweight, and Matt Hardy, he did good, but he did not really work that pace.
Like, I know. Matt Hardy in the cruiserweight division, I wouldn't compare him to Samoa Joe in the X division, but he's like, what's a person in the X division that don't need to be there?
Kenny King.
Well, Kenny King maybe.
Kenny King is too heavy and too big to be in the X division. Can he do spectacular moves? Absolutely, but so can a lot of people.
That's why he's in the X division, though.
That's why Samoa Joe's in the X division.
Like, I know Matt Hardy can do stuff, but not like, not like that.
I mean, when he was a Hardy Boy, he was more doing cruiserweight type stuff. But since he got, growing older, and I think it's time for him to be in that mid card championship level. But I enjoyed the match for an opener. I wish he had a little bit more time, but it was an opener, so it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So there was a storyline that Undertaker was supposed to take this rookie under his wing from Australia.
What was his name again?
Nathan Jones.
Yeah. That dude.
This dude is greener than the green crayon in the Crayola box. This man is greener than poison. I'm just saying, he was green. He was so green he couldn't even walk right.
Like, I was on like the day before the pay-per-view that was like, it's like, yeah, about the pay-per-view, you're fired.
Because it's supposed to be a tag match, and it was just like, Undertaker's like, no, man, this boy too green. So they had to do an angle where they attacked him on Sunday Night Heat, and he was not able to participate. So we got a handicap match between the Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train. Now, everybody was like,
Albert. Oh, my man.
Yep. So everybody was like, oh my God, the Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak is in jeopardy because this is a handicap match. And as you would expect,
it's a handicap match against Big Show and A-Train.
Exactly. A-Train takes most of the heat for this match, but they do get the advantage. But late into the match, Nathan Jones comes out with his track pants on. Big Show tries to attack him. He does do an impressive spin kick. That's all he was good to do. And then he gives a big boot to A-Train, and then A-Train gets a tombstone pile driver, and he takes the pin. So the Undertaker remains undefeated at WrestleMania and waves the flag. And this is what Undertaker was doing at WrestleMania at this time as American Badass. And this is the last WrestleMania we were going to see this American Badass gimmick. So, Prime Time, your thoughts?
This is okay. Out of the card, this is one of the matches I didn't like.
Okay.
Or I like the least. I say I like the least. Maybe just, I don't know. Big Show. Something about Big Show and Taker when they work together just don't hook me.
It doesn't.
And then especially when you add A-Train in the mix, it definitely don't hook me. But hey, that's that's one bad thing about a good thing.
Yeah. Undertaker goes on to win the match. Next up, we have a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Trish Stratus versus Victoria with Steven Richards. Victoria's the champion, by the way.
I hated that gimmick.
And when she was crazy? I love that gimmick.
I hated that gimmick, and I hated the one where she was dancing.
Okay. I hate the dancing one. But I appreciate when she was crazy and looking on everybody's face. I'm cool with that.
Of course you are.
Give me something to turn me the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jazz. Nice triple threat match here. Victoria, nice slingshot over the ropes into a leg drop. These women have chemistry. The only problem that they did not have was time.
Yeah.
And,
it did seem short.
Huh?
I said it always seems short. Even when I rewatch it, it always seems short.
Yeah. And then Victoria's going for the Widow's Peak. Trish Stratus wiggles her way out of it, hits a chick kick, knocks Victoria out. 1, 2, 3. Trish Stratus wins the Women's Championship, and she's supporting some nice Canadian attire. Where was this last year? just asking. I mean, I think she had Canadian attire on last year too. But your thoughts on the Women's Triple Threat match?
As in last year or WrestleMania 18?
As in 18.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But your thoughts on Triple Threat match?
Yeah, the Triple Threat match was nice. It ain't get that much time, but it was nice. Jazz is dominant.
I miss Jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz was before her time.
Jazz was dominant. I think what they did, like they had Beth Phoenix take Jazz's place as like the dominant alpha female.
Give me Jazz versus Ember Moon.
Ooh.
Or
okay.
if you want to put some muscular chicks in there, give me Chyna, give me Beth Phoenix, give me Natalya, give me Jazz, give me Jacqueline.
Okay, that's just too much muscle right
there.
That's a lot of muscle.
Ultimate muscle! Yeah. Alright, but
So by muscle you mean big girls or just muscle girls?
I mean the muscle girls that are athletes that are clearly cut, but they can move like a Caitlyn.
Okay.
She's obviously, more muscular because she, same thing with Beth Phoenix, but they can move. They weren't Nicole Bass or Chyna.
Okay.
And even
I was putting that in.
Yeah, and even though Chyna towards later she can sell a little bit better, but at first she was stiff as a rock.
You talking about her face or her selling?
Shit, go both. Go both. Speaking of triple threats, the triple threats just don't stop. The triple threats don't stop. We get triple threat for the WWE Tag Team Championships because the Raw Tag Team Champions were defending on Sunday Night Heat. So we get Team Angle, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, one of the greatest teams ever.
Or, their name was the world's
greatest tag team. I'm just saying, as long as y'all know. Versus the Los Guerreros, Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero, and the team of Chris and Rhino. So, I felt as though that this was.
I don't know why they was a team, though.
Say what?
I still don't know why they was a team, though.
I don't know why neither. But, this was basically a big action-packed match. At this time, I was kind of spoiled. Like, I want a ladder match. When you got all these teams, give me a ladder match. But you know what? With the time that was given, they showed me that you didn't need a ladder to have a decent match. And they had a decent match. Rhino delivers a gore on Chavo, but Benjamin tags himself into the match and pins Chavo to win the match. And he talks out Rhino to steal the win. And Team Angle win. They actually retain their tag team championships. Now, your thoughts on this match? They barely even got 10 minutes to do anything in this match, but your thoughts on it?
I like these spots in the match. Alvin, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. They chemistry is good with each other, especially when they do that leapfrog move. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, world's greatest tag team.
That leapfrog move is something serious. But I like Eddie and Chavo too. Eddie Chavo is not really one of my favorites, as in tag teams. But
what? That's SmackDown 6 right there.
As in tag teams?
Yes, that's SmackDown 6. You remember the SmackDown 6?
Yeah, they can get the job done. I ain't saying they can't get the job done. I'm just saying. My perspective, my personal opinion, they just, I don't know, just something about Chavo that just don't get me.
I'm about to say, it's something about Chavo everywhere that does no. Chavo knows he's always going to be an Eddie shadow, dead or alive.
It's not Eddie, it's Chavo. It's something about Chavo that I just can't get.
Nobody has ever been sold on Chavito, or even when he was a single star. No, Chavo Guerrero, even today in Lucha Underground, is still an Eddie Guerrero shadow. He will never be Chavo Guerrero. He will always be Eddie Guerrero's nephew. So.
And then you had Nancy's husband in this match too.
Yeah, so moving on. It's time for the big matches. We get 5 A+ matches back to back to back to back to back. This is what makes this WrestleMania pretty damn good, because when we started off the first half of the card, there were solid undercard matches. We had a solid opener, solid triple threat match, didn't get enough time, a solid tag team match. You know, we got solid matches. You agree, right? I'm not saying they weren't the greatest.
Yeah, I do agree. They were solid.
They were just solid. But this is when we get A+ all the way through, in my opinion. And to start off with the A+,
yeah, ridiculously good.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, my third favorite wrestler of all time, versus Chris Jericho, my second favorite wrestler of all time. The story behind this is Shawn Michaels has come back after doing that match with Triple H, and then finally he said Vince gave him a title run to boost his confidence, and Chris Jericho said, well, you know what, he was on a highlight reel and he wants a piece of Shawn Michaels. And I'm like, okay.
Just imagine if they would have did that highlight reel spot then instead of doing it later.
Exactly. And he was like, I try to be like Shawn Michaels, but you know what, I can prove that I'm better than Shawn Michaels. And this was Shawn Michaels coming out and saying, hey, if we can have a match, if I can trust you to have a match, then hey, you know, let's go do this. So, excuse me. So the match starts and Shawn Michaels, you know, comes out in his tights with that exploding, was it a t-shirt gun he had or the confetti gun, was it? Confetti gun, okay.
And then one of them didn't work.
Yeah, one of them did not work. And then Chris Jericho comes out, does, you know, typical heel stuff. This was a damn good match. These guys, Shawn showed that he still had it. I enjoyed the Walls of Jericho spot on the outside of the ring.
Yo, I did like all the outside spots that they did. I liked all of them, because you know they were outside for a little minute. Now you can't even lie.
Oh yeah, exactly. The referee Ben, you know, botched that 10 count.
He tried. He was like 9.
Yes, Michaels. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Also, you know, that, like I said, the feud grew also when Jericho played Michaels. Michael says, if you want to be the man, start the Royal Rumble at number 1. And obviously, he tricked him with Christian coming out and then eliminating Shawn Michaels early. Shawn comes back to eliminate Jericho. That's how we get the initial shot for the WrestleMania match between them.
Okay, is that like how it's like one match every year has something to do with the Royal Rumble, somebody eliminating each other?
Yeah, it's mostly Shawn Michaels in that shit neither, because it happened 3 years in a row. 3 years, yes, 3 years in a row. 2003, not 2004. Well, you know, if you want to count the match, yeah, 2003.
2004 was the one with Goldberg when he got eliminated by Brock Lesnar.
No, that's not it. Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, but 2003, Shawn gets eliminated by Jericho because he gets blindsided. He comes back and eliminates Jericho. 2004, him and Triple H had that last man standing match, and they both get a double count out, so he wants his revenge on that one. 2005, he eliminates Kurt Angle very, very quickly, and Kurt Angle comes back, eliminates him, and puts him on an ankle lock on the steel steps. 2006, he comes to the Royal Rumble. Shane comes out and eliminates him, which causes the match between him and Vince McMahon. So it's just like, damn, Shawn, it's you in the Royal Rumble that keeps starting all these rivalries in the Royal Rumble.
Maybe Shawn should just be in the Royal Rumble.
Like I said, the match was good. Shawn Michaels is going for a Sweet Chin Music, and then Chris Jericho turns into a Walls of Jericho. Nice spot that was right there. He finally escapes it, and then instead of going for Sweet Chin Music, Jericho tries to attempt a suplex, and Michaels rolls him up with a successful pinfall victory. I was shocked that they was going to go this way, so Jericho doesn't look weak by getting a Sweet Chin Music, and Shawn doesn't tap. So I thought this was actually pretty,
What did you think about the Sweet Chin Music that Jericho hit on Michaels?
It was alright. It wasn't Shawn like.
You said what?
It wasn't Shawn like, but you know what? It's passable.
Yeah, it wasn't Shawn like, but it was still good.
Yeah, it was passable, and so it was a great match. The two hug afterwards, and Jericho continued getting his heel heat, kicks Michaels in the balls, and throws him down to the mat.
Hey, when Michael sold after that kick, it was like his leg was going, like he kicked him for real.
He's like, oh, and then so that was that match. Your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I give this match an A++ if I could, but like this match to me when I was growing up was like, because you know that DVD, the WrestleMania Legends.
Yeah.
This match was like the greatest match on there.
Yeah, well, things with Mr. WrestleMania on there usually are. Yeah, because like I said, I like Jericho mocking HBK's moves and all the above. So all that stuff was great. Now we're going to move on to. Oh wait, hold on. I think. Don't quote me. I think after this match we get a little break because they dubbed this. They dubbed this WrestleMania.
John Cena?
Say what?
Is this the part you talking about with John Cena?
No. John Cena was on Heat. John Cena was on Heat when he was rapping with the cardboard cutout of Fabulous and Jay-Z. Yeah, and he was supposed to be on the show and actually battle rap actual both of them, which would have been fucking hot. But Fabulous dummy want to get in trouble, and it couldn't find Jay-Z. So, I mean, it don't bring no merit now because John Cena's older and doesn't do that gimmick no more. But back then, if John Cena could have hang with them too, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. But we get, since they dubbed this as the 4 main event matches. There was 4 main event matches, even though this Shawn and Jericho one I thought was a main event in itself, but they dubbed the WrestleMania 4 main events. So before we get into the 4 main events, we have a fatal 4-way pillow fight with Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson and the Miller Lite or the Bud Light, whatever fucking beer girls, and this shit was terrible.
Hey, Jonathan Coach, man, was so funny in this. Like, they just start beating him up for no reason.
Yeah, and start pantsing him and shit like that. I was just like, see, we couldn't have the tag team championships on the main show because we had to make room for this shit. This is the stuff I'm talking about.
Hey, that's what they did back then.
Same thing with WrestleMania like 22 and stuff. You can take out these damn pillow fights and all. Y'all just want to see men, beat on their mans because women out here looking hot doing pillow fight. That was a wasted segment.
It was.
That's not what That's not my WrestleMania. But now it's time for the first.
WrestleMania moments. So. Hey.
You talk about WrestleMania moments, and yet I have yet to see that on any of the countdowns.
Hey, I'm talking about Coach got his WrestleMania moment with the pillow fight. Hey, Coach don't care. Coach was in there with them. He ain't care.
And to be honest, I wouldn't have cared neither. But So now we get the first of our 4 main event matches. Controversial, but let's dig into it. Triple H, who is the World Heavyweight Champion, with Ric Flair versus Booker T. Now, the story going up into this is now Booker T has just got out the tag team with Goldust, and The Rock comes back and says, you know what? I want another shot at the title. Triple H won the title back from Shawn Michaels in 3 Stages of Hell and took care of the whole Scott Steiner feud. Now it's time for something better. Booker T. They had a battle royal on Raw because SmackDown won the Royal Rumble, and Booker T ends up winning the battle royal by last eliminating The Rock. And then we get Triple H, who goes into this racial angle, quote unquote, about Booker T, saying people like you do not deserve to be champion like me. You deserve, all you're supposed to do is to carry my bags and make me laugh. Damn.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was kind of deep right there. And also, they kept showing Booker T's past of him being in jail and his retribution and him coming to the top. And Triple H later said in the interview that he was not meant for it to be any racial. He was talking to him about as a WCW guy. Yeah.
He should have said that.
He really could have. He should have said that. He's saying, guys from companies like that don't deserve to come over here and things like that. No, it was clearly illustrating that yes, people like you. Come on, you talk about WCW guys. You talk about your hair. Are you serious? Obviously, you and Triple H have two different kinds of texture of hair, so we already know. And then Ric Flair chiming in, and I was just like, okay, there were times where it kind of got kind of uncomfortable. And there was also times where it was like, okay, you're down talking Booker T. And Booker T is trying to get the upper hand on Triple H, and he does a couple moments before WrestleMania. But Booker T never got a chance to say anything. He was just shown there just taking the shit as on the chin that Triple H was saying to him, and he never responded to him on the mic or anything. And that's what I had a problem with. But
Booker would have responded. He would have been using, words would have slipped out like Hulk Hogan.
I'm calling for you, nigga. Yeah, that would have happened. But if you want more details about this storyline, make sure you check out What's Best for Business coming next week, where I do take an extensive look at the Triple H Booker T storyline from WrestleMania 19, and was it truly best for business for what happens after we talk about the results. But we had Triple H versus Booker T, and despite all the racial stereotyping that the storyline progressed, this was a damn good match until the ending. Because Booker T was pulled out a Houston hangover, and he landed it, and crowd really thought that he was going to win the championship.
Crowd was crazy.
It was like, oh my god, that's a Houston hangover. He nailed it, because Booker T is damn good at what he does, and we really felt Booker. He was like, oh my god, Triple H is really gonna lose this joint. He ain't doing Houston hangover since early WCW, hitting bookends and hitting scissors kick, but then Triple H hits one sloppy pedigree and rolls all the way to the other side of the ring. And as Booker T, because he hurts his knee in the match, and Triple H is working on the knee, Triple H crawls, and he crawls, and he crawls, and literally 30 seconds pass, and maybe even more.
Sure it wasn't longer than 30?
I think it was longer than 30 seconds. I'm trying to be the benefit of the doubt here. Triple H comes over, covers Booker T. Now, usually in Wrestling 101, when you hit a finisher and it takes you that long to cover them, even with just a one hand over the chest, you didn't even hook the leg or nothing. 1, 2, everybody thinking Booker T's going to kick out, but Booker T kicked out. It's Booker T's time. 3. And the crowd just went, what?
Yeah, the crowd was big on Booker T back then too.
Yeah, and it was just like, what? You mean tell me Triple H is a sloppy pedigree on Booker T, takes about 30 to 45 seconds to go over there and cover him. He only gets an arm over, and Booker T can't kick out? I don't care what anybody has said.
That's that shovel for you.
This was the burial right here. And I'm saying this right now. Now, usually there are a lot of times I come to the aid of Triple H. I do see him as a burial machine, but there's only 2 people, in my opinion, that Triple H truly buried. And those people are Booker T and Chris Jericho.
Oh, he just...
Everybody... Yeah. Now, every now and then I may agree with some people on RVD, but I was leaning between either...
No, RVD was too.
Yeah, no, RVD was buried, but the reason why I'm saying that, like I said, that's a topic for another day, but he didn't have what Chris Jericho and Booker T had. RVD had the ring skills, but he didn't have the charisma like Booker T and Chris Jericho do.
Alright, I give it that.
Yeah, so that's why I don't really put RVD as high up as I do with Chris Jericho and Booker T. In my personal opinion, Chris Jericho and Booker T got it the worst from Triple H. and that wasn't right because even the rematch at Backlash, which wasn't, he didn't even get his rematch. I mean, I say that he deserved one, but I'm just saying it went to absolute shit. So, but anyway, Prime Time, you're minus the finish. Your thoughts on the actual match?
The actual match was good. Like, Booker T put out all the stops. You know, the scissors kick, the Houston hangover, shit, even the spinneroonie. Well, you know,
yeah, WrestleMania size spinneroonie.
He pulled out all the stops, and it was like, you know, he might actually win this. And then, you know, pedigree. It's like pedigree, and that was it. Pack him and go home, guy.
I agree. Booker T is a very humble guy because in his book he doesn't talk too much about it, and he congratulates Triple H and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I get it. I appreciate you, but you know, sir, you know. But we're not going to dwell on that because, like I said, if y'all want to hear more about that, we can talk about it, and you can watch What's Best for Business. I know Primetime will be ready to check in on that also. So. So we get 20 years in the fucking making. We get Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan in a street fight. And I'm saying this right now. This was probably one of Vince McMahon's, next to Shawn Michaels, best matches in his whole career.
Yo, can we just acknowledge the fact that both of them are like past their 50s in this match?
Yes, they are both past their prime, and they can still have a fucking good match. And this is 20 years in the making. They tried to bring in the steroid use, and Hogan comes back for the NWO. He comes back and where he got the white and the red and yellow and back, and Vince is not liking that and not having that. He screwed him over against The Rock. So we got our match here. And I'll be damned if this match was not good, with Vince McMahon dominating the majority of the match, busting up Hulk Hogan.
Hey, yo, that leg drop was serious.
Vince McMahon goes up and he gets a ladder and puts Hogan on the announce table, and he does the Hogan leg drop from the top of the ladder, and it looks so terrible when somebody who really can't wrestle does the leg drop. Vince just is like, does a sitting position kind of on the way down, and he just happens to catch Hogan across the neck. So he does that.
It did look terrible. It was so serious.
Exactly. He rolls Hogan into the ring, and then Vince McMahon, with a sadistic, bloody face, does a creep up from the ring, and it's one of the most iconic creep ups that looks so scary from the ring. When Vince McMahon creeps up from the ring.
Yeah, you talking about the one when he got that little face and he got the smile?
Yeah. Oh my God, that is so creepy. And he's about to go to town on Hulk Hogan with this pipe, and then all of a sudden, Hogan retaliates and does his Hulk up. But then we get Roddy Piper that comes in, and Roddy Piper comes in, and everybody was surprised that he came in because he had that controversial interview with HBO. But Vince brought him in, and he attacks Hogan with the pipe, and Vince goes for the cover, and Hogan still kicks out, but then Hogan does his infamous Hulk up, big boot, leg drop, 1, 2, 3, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, or Hulk Hogan, how you want to call it, beats Vince McMahon in a convincing, brutal street fight.
Yeah, I feel like this match is like Vince been wanting to do that all along. He been wanting to just, have a street fight, just do whatever he want to do.
Exactly. I agree that that's what happened, and Vince had to do it with somebody who can move at his pace. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So this match was really good. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I like this match. The only thing I probably say I didn't like is like out of the whole match, Hulk Hogan hit the leg drop and the big boot. Technically, that's what put Vince away.
The people that take that fucking leg drop, I know you gotta pay me some money to take that damn shit.
Well, Vince didn't care. Vince, at the end of the day, Vince got money in the bank, so he ain't care.
He damn sure did. And speaking of rivalries that have to that are being reculminated, Part 3 of the Austin Rock saga. The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in round 3.
What?
Yes, and The Rock says, you know what The Rock hasn't done? The Rock hasn't beat that bald-headed double-stunning candy ass at WrestleMania.
Well, I will say, from what I've seen, the Smackdowns and the Raws and the not the dark matches, but no, what do you call them when they off the air? I guess you call it
dark matches.
Well, the videos that they show off the air with Stone Cold and The Rock just talking, it was like the whole feud was entertaining.
Yes, the whole feud was very entertaining. It actually, I thought this was their second best one out their series. Yes. Of WrestleMania. I thought
15 is the worst.
Yeah, 15 I think was not the strongest between the two men, but 17 was the best, and this one was the second best because it goes people flip flop between that. And well,
okay, the only reason people might say this one is better, maybe because the ending actually ended with a move instead of some chair shots.
It probably was, and it probably had that emotional connection to it too.
Yeah.
So
he just turned on him.
Yeah, Stone Cold has on his vest OMR for one more round, so it's just know that it's gonna be his last match, and they made it entertaining whenever. And this was The Rock when he was the best out of his career. The Rock is being a good heel, puts on Austin's vest. That part is like one of my favorite parts of the match, or one of the most iconic parts of the match. Yes, The Rock puts on Austin's vest, sits there trying to do the people's elbow in the vest, and then Austin is doing a loose ass press and whooping The Rock's ass in his vest. Does the Stone Cold? The Rock delivers a Stone Cold Stunner.
The Rock, first of all, when the Rock first got it, he got water spitting it in his face and everything.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the whole thing is Jerry Lawler on commentary.
Yes.
Jerry Lawler's talking so much trash.
Jerry Lawler is the man. I like Jerry Lawler back in the day, man.
After the Luther's press, Jerry Lawler's like, take it off. It's only been bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad luck, Rock's bad luck. Yeah, so I like that. But then The Rock performs not one, not two, but 3 rock bottoms on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it looked like every rock bottom The Rock hit, it looked like it legitimately hurt Stone Cold.
Yeah, Stone Cold was like, dang, I'm getting too old for these bumps.
he took the first one, it was like regular. Then the second one, he was just like, oh, he curled up, and then The Rock hit him with a third one, and then The Rock pinned him one.
The third one looked like he did it with force, though.
Yeah, he said, eat this shit, man. And The Rock pins Austin 1, 2, 3 for The Rock to finally beat Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania, even though the record does not matter because Austin is still up 2-1. But The Rock goes out on top because if you're going out, you go out on your back, and Austin went out on his back. The Rock whispered something to him and said, "Thank you for all the rivalry. Thank you for all everything that you have done. I'm gonna leave the ring for you by yourself." And Austin's standing there in the ring. He gets a nice hero salute, gets his beer, and rides off into the sunset. Your thoughts on the match?
Well, okay. Would you like this? Would you have liked him to go out like this, or with a Brock Lesnar rivalry, since he didn't want to put him over?
I think Austin went out great the way he did, because you go out on Austin's second greatest rivalry is with The Rock.
Yeah. What's his first? Stone Cold? Oh,
Vince, yeah. That's Austin's greatest rivalry, but when it comes to an actual wrestler, his greatest rivalry was with The Rock.
Yeah.
And the way that Stone Cold and The Rock had excellent match. Nobody has yet to headline 3 different WrestleManias every other year in the main event. People may say this is not the last match because they was debating if it should be the last match, but they were the second to the last match and the last match for the last 2. Nobody has ever done that before.
Let's see. Who's even close? Who faced each other at? I don't think nobody faced each other.
Nobody faced. The only people that came close was The Rock and John Cena, because they were all in the main events for 3 years in a row, but they only had 2 matches.
They do it again, then yeah.
But the thing is that The Rock and John Cena's matches underperformed compared to Austin's and Rock's, because even WrestleMania 15 was all right, but it wasn't that great. The second one was really good, but the finish was kind of like damn. But the third one was good, and it had a great finish to it and a great send off. So they were just wonderful in this, and I appreciate everything they gave. But back in the day when they actually cared about who won the fucking Royal Rumble and who goes into the main event, and that is Brock Lesnar. By the way, at this time, Brock Lesnar's a face. Can y'all believe that?
I like face. Well, I mean, he was a face last year, so.
We got Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. Stephanie McMahon said, had Angle been counted out or disqualified, he would have lost the title. Why do you say? Well, since Angle beat Chris Benoit at Royal Rumble and Lesnar has eliminated The Undertaker to win the Royal Rumble, he won a title match in a steel cage match and against Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle was in the corner doing his little prayer, and Brock Lesnar attacks the shit out of Kurt Angle. But what people don't know is that Kurt switched with his brother, Eric Angle. So as Brock Lesnar going to pin, he's like, it looks weird. And he was just like, wait a minute. This ain't Kurt Angle. Then the real Kurt Angle comes back and rolls him up and beats Brock Lesnar. And that's what Stephanie makes the call that Team Angle is not is banned from the ring, and you can't do any type of disqualification or cheating, or you will lose your championship. And I'll be damned if it didn't work out better that way, because this was a damn good match.
Yeah.
This was a damn good match.
I can honestly say this is one of my favorite feuds in wrestling.
Yes.
Brock and Angle,
this
especially
is
the funny feuds, the funny moments in the feud.
Exactly. This is back when Brock Lesnar was not doing Suplex City. He was actually wrestling.
Yeah, he was actually wrestling. He actually had a character instead of just sitting there doing his taunts. He actually talked, and he actually had a character.
Exactly. Kurt Angle, nice spot. He blocks a shoulder block and German suplexes Brock Lesnar into the turnbuckle. I ain't never seen that before. That was nice.
A lot of these spots was nice, but obviously the most iconic of the match.
The most iconic is Angle is down, and originally they have told Lesnar to make WrestleMania special. Why don't you end it on a shooting star press? Now he has practiced it on a crash pad and he has nailed it. But since him being exhausted and Kurt Angle being extremely far away,
why didn't he just go to the other side? Like,
I don't know what Lesnar was thinking, but first of all, he got a good leap. Like, Lesnar jumped out the damn. He was high up in the air, and then he crunched himself and tried to flip over. But the thing was, Lesnar overshot himself, and he was short and landed right on his head, and it caused Lesnar a concussion. By the way, Kurt Angle is wrestling with broken freaking neck problems, okay? And
I do like how he was able to keep going during the match, though.
Yes, he had a concussion. His face was obviously red. Kurt Angle tried to cover Lesnar, but Lesnar kicks out, and then Angle is he gets the Undertaker treatment from WrestleMania 30, and he gets hit with 3 F5s. And after the third F5, Kurt Angle gets pinned by Lesnar, and he wins the WWE title. And Angle, to everybody's surprise, shakes Brock Lesnar's hand, gives him a hug, and raises his hand at WrestleMania 19 and closes the show. And now that's what WrestleMania is about. Your thoughts on this match?
This match was amazing. I get this one. I already gave it, an A++. But this one I like the Germans. I like Angle giving out them Germans. I like Brock giving out them suplexes. They weren't Germans though.
No. He did a couple Germans. He did a couple belly to bellies.
Belly to bellies. Them belly to bellies on Angle is them serious ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do. Back then, he wasn't in Suplex City like he is now.
Exactly. But it was great to see. It was a great moment. Angle hoisting it up over Lesnar. These guys are both phenomenal athletes, and that was a absolute great main event. WrestleMania 19. What is your final grade?
For me, since it's special to me, I give it an A or a B plus.
No, for me, WrestleMania 19 was a A, and it teeters on the A plus. Like, the show overall is an A, but if I just count the second half of that show from Michaels on down, that's an A plus.
Okay, from the second half on down, starting from the world's greatest tag team match on down, I'll say that's an A plus.
Okay. Yeah, I'm putting the A range. Like I said, I keep battling between this one and WrestleMania 17 as which one is my favorites, because in my feeling, WrestleMania 17 had something for all kinds of fans. If you like wrestling, like pure wrestling, they had that. If you like entertaining storylines, they had that. If you like seeing the old school,
yep,
they had that. If you like seeing gimmick style matches and hardcore based matches, they had that. So they had something for everybody, which I thought was really, really cool. But WrestleMania 19 was more so like, we're going to go out here, give y'all good stories, give y'all pure wrestling, because there was no gimmick match on the card other than the street fight. Other than the street fight, which worked with Hogan and McMahon, that's all it needed. And I thought that it made a very damn good WrestleMania. So, guys, make sure you post in the comments below how did you guys like WrestleMania 19. And also, remember, hit the subscribe button. WrestleManias every day lead up to WrestleMania 33. We got a couple more WrestleManias to go. We right now, we're going into where it all begins again, WrestleMania 20. Can you just believe it? Like last week I was on WrestleMania 10. Now we about to be on WrestleMania 20, where primetime comes back and we talk about where it all begins again.
Okay.
So once again, guys, this is NC, the place to be. Chilling with your Mr. D, and not Deion Sanders, but Prime Time.
Ooh, all right, this back in that time. So what's something I can do from back in that time?
Well, here comes the pain.
Oh, Taz.
Yeah,
or,
here comes the pain.
Yeah, or JR. What does JR say when Undertaker comes out?
I don't know. He be like, he got a family, damn it.
Think about your family, Shane.
Yeah.
Vince, don't do it. Don't do it, Vince.
Mm-hmm. So some of that nature, but yes. Or you could say, can you dig it? So good. But once again, like I said, guys, keep it retro. Do not forget about the old school, because old school is where it's at. And remember, stay tuned with us, and we're gonna come back and give you WrestleMania 20.
Everybody come and gather round, it's time to take a listen. Swag on Zero A&E, it's the coalition. We talking comics, both Marvel and DC, the factory addicts and the WWE. Anime too, what a surprise. If you digging what I'm saying, go and like and subscribe. It's the coalition.